Welcome to this explainer. If you owe the IRS money and you genuinely cannot pay it right now, I want you to know something right up front. You are not going to jail. The IRS does not put people in prison for owing taxes they can't afford. That's a criminal statute that applies to fraud and willful evasion, not to honest people who are in a tough financial spot. What the IRS does do is charge penalties and interest while they wait, and they have escalating enforcement tools. But they also have formal programs designed specifically for people who can't pay in full. And understanding these programs and the right order to use them is what separates people who get crushed by their tax debt from people who manage it strategically. So let's walk through your 4 real options. But first, an important preliminary step that most people skip. Before you choose a payment path, shrink the balance. I know that sounds obvious, but here's what I mean specifically. Check whether you qualify for penalty relief. If first-time abatement or reasonable cause can knock off part of your penalties, that reduces the total amount you need to figure out how to pay. Always remove penalties first, then choose your payment strategy. Doing them in the right order saves the most. Now, your 4 options. Option 1, installment agreement. This is the most common path, and for most people, it's the right one. An installment agreement is simply a monthly payment plan. If you owe less than $50,000, you can usually set one up almost automatically through the IRS website or by calling 800-829-1040. The IRS gives you up to 72 months to pay, and as long as you're in an active agreement, they stop the collection escalation. No levies, no garnishments. The downside, interest continues to run the entire time you're paying, so the longer the payment period, the more interest you accumulate. But for most people, the peace of mind and the structured payments are worth it. Option 2, offer and compromise. This is the one you see in the TV ads. Settle with the IRS for pennies on the dollar. And yes, it is real. An offer and compromise is a formal agreement where the IRS accepts less than the full amount you owe. But it's not as easy as those commercials make it sound. The IRS calculates something called your reasonable collection potential, your monthly disposable income times 12 or 24 months, plus the equity in your assets. If your offer meets or exceeds that number, they'll likely accept. If it doesn't, they'll reject it. The acceptance rate is about 33%. The free OIC calculator at ustaxpenaltysaver.com runs the same RCP formula the IRS uses, so you can see whether a compromise is realistic for your numbers before you invest the time and the $205 application fee. Option 3, currently not collectible status. If paying anything at all would leave you unable to cover basic living expenses, you can request CNC status. When the IRS grants this, they stop all collection activity. No calls, no letters, no levies. The debt is still there, and interest still accrues, but they leave you completely alone until your financial situation improves. Here's the strategic angle that most people don't know about CNC. The IRS has a 10-year collection statute of limitations called the CSED, Collection Statute Expiration Date. After 10 years, the debt expires. If your financial situation doesn't improve during that window, the combination of CNC status and running out the clock can result in the debt simply going away. The tool at ustaxpenaltysaver.com has a CSED calculator that shows exactly when your debt would expire. Option 4, Partial Payment Installment Agreement, or PPIA. This is a hybrid between an installment agreement and an offer and compromise. You make monthly payments based on what you can afford, but you don't pay the full balance by the time the CSED expires. It's for people who can pay something, but not everything. The IRS reviews your financials similarly to an OIC, but instead of a lump settlement, You make payments for the remaining collection period.
So which option is right for you? Here's the decision framework. If you can afford monthly payments that would clear the balance within 6 years, installment agreement. If your total debt is significantly more than the IRS could realistically collect from you, offer in compromise. If paying anything would put you in genuine hardship, currently not collectible. And if you can afford some payments but not enough to cover the full balance before the CSED, a partial payment installment agreement.
The free calculator at ustaxpenaltysaver.com analyzes your situation and shows which of these options you're most likely to qualify for. It takes about 5 minutes, and it gives you a clear, strategic roadmap instead of guessing. Remember, remove penalties first to shrink the balance. Then pick the payment path that fits. That's the order that saves the most. Head over to ustaxpenaltysaver.com to start. This is general information, not legal or tax advice. Eligibility for an offer in compromise or currently not collectible status depends on your specific financial situation. Consult a licensed tax professional for your particular case.